Hi, this is the English man from EB English Music, and welcome to another Studio Talk vlog. In the last couple of episodes, I'm sure by now you've been noticing a theme. I've spoken about good versus bad songs, good and not so good resonators, and hit song formulas. And one of the questions that keeps popping up, artists that come to my studio, I spoke about this in the last video, is, can I get a radio hit? Can you make me a hit? And more importantly, what does radio want? So that's the theme of today's video. The question, what does radio want? Now, this might come as a surprise to you, and no disrespect to anybody, but I don't even think that radio knows what radio wants. And I'll tell you why. Let me first give you a little bit of a background before I get into the nitty-gritty of what radio actually wants. Remember in the last video I said that it's a numbers game, that you just need to keep on writing songs. You never know what's going to be that hit. I'll use another example in the form of a songwriter. His name escapes me now, but he wrote the song Heart Attack for Demi Lovato. And he says that he wrote hundreds of songs before Heart Attack. And he didn't really do anything different. It was just pure inspiration. He wrote it, and that particular song became a hit. The same thing with what happened in the last video when I spoke about Bruno Mars. The same thing, it's a numbers game. Just keep on writing the songs. If it becomes a hit, great. If it doesn't, just move on to the next thing. So now coming back to what radio wants. And I also mentioned that radio doesn't know what radio wants. So let me put it in perspective for you. For a second, you need to stop thinking as a creative. Start thinking as a business person. Because as much as you think that a radio station, besides talk radio, I'm talking about music radio stations, as much as you think it's about playing music and it's about the music, it isn't actually about the music. A radio station, especially a commercial radio station, that's what it is exactly. Commercial comes from the word commerce, which is what? Business. And what is the main objective of any business? Is to make a profit. It's to make money. That is what it's about. And you know what? There's nothing negative about that. That's just how business is. So how does a radio station make money? They make money through advertising. And how do they convince advertisers to advertise on their particular station? Numbers. So they need to gain listeners. They need to keep those listeners tuning in, and they need to keep those listeners tuned in for long periods of time. That's how they can take that information, that data, to an advertiser and say, you know what, out of all the other radio stations in this vicinity, we actually have the most numbers. And this is the demographic of our numbers that listen to us. And if you look at your specific clientele, that actually is in line with your target audience. So above all the other radio stations, you need to advertise with us. Please give us your money so that we can advertise your product. But that money is so that that radio station can survive, so that they can pay salaries, so that they can do whatever they need to do to survive and to make money. So how does a radio station ensure that they keep their listeners or keep more listeners tuned in, especially when it comes to their music? They have to play it safe, unfortunately. A lot of them are not really breaking new music. They're not really taking risks. So what they do is they go with playing tried and tested hits, or they look at songs that have been generating a hype on social media, or maybe there's a music video that's doing the rounds that's really gone viral, and now they'll take the chance on that song. There are certain radio stations that in the past, especially here in South Africa and Cape Town, that would never have played a song like Gangnam Style. They would never have played songs by Jack Parrow or The Antwoord. But because it generated a lot of hype, because there was a lot of positive publicity surrounding it, not even positive publicity, but just, it caused a buzz somehow, and everybody was talking about it, they had to play it. Is Gangnam Style still playing on the radio here in South Africa? Not really, because the hype has died down. And that's unfortunately how the game goes. So it doesn't really matter what kind of song you are going to create. At the end of the day, if you created some hype around your song, everybody's talking about it, it probably will play on radio. In some cases, though, where there wasn't any hype surrounding the song just seemed to resonate again with a lot of people, including the people at the radio station. And I know examples of that. I'll use an example of Jimmy Nevis. There wasn't really that much internet hype surrounding him before his first single, Elephant Shoes, came out. But whenever that song was taken to a radio station, it just resonated with a lot of people, especially at the radio station, and they said, we really like this, we want to play it. And it did really well. Did he know that it was going to be a hit? I'm not really sure. I haven't spoken to Jimmy about that. But again, it comes back to a question of, what do you want as an artist? Just make the music that you want to make. If it does well on radio, great. If it doesn't, it really does not matter. Just keep on writing songs. Please give me a thumbs up on this video if you liked it, of course. And please don't forget to subscribe. youtube.com/Englishman. And I'll catch you on the next Studio Talk vlog.
Ooh, bet the Englishman.